Loftus-Cheek, Sterling, gliding through, and Felix makes it 3, and that will do the job for Chelsea.
Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 3. Frank gets his first win since moving back into his childhood bedroom, which his parents have assured him he can only stay in until he finds a job.
We've turned it into a gym, Frank.
But finally, some glimmers of hope. Finally, some incisive attacking football from Chelsea, who went out ahead via a well-timed and brave 9th-minute Conor Gallagher header. But this Bournemouth team pulled one back via some liquid cherry football in the 21st minute. That finish from Mateus Vinha. Wow. But a series of tactical adjustments and smart substitutions did see Chelsea get late goals from Benoit Badiashile and João Felix to scoop up all 3 points. Rog, we scored not just 1 goal, we scored 3 goals and won a big boy game on the road.
2 teams entering the game both on 39 points, but feeling so bloody different for getting there. You're fighting cherries in boom shakalaka form, winners of 6 of the last 9 games. Chelsea, all I can say, the achievement of this season is to be also safe from relegation. But that's about it. Losers
Frank's done it again.
Yep, poor Frank actually entered with 10 straight losses. I mean, truly an incredible run. To put that into historical context, last English manager to lose more consecutive games with a top-flight club, Herbert Bamlett. They don't name him like that anymore.
Yeah,
Herbert. Bamlett? It was Bamlett.
Giles?
14.
Yeah.
Yes, Herbert Bamlett. It was in the days when you had to moisturise your own jowls. 14 with Manchester United in 1930. And I feel, we've talked about it, Frank, I feel for him. Decent bloke, clearly not a great manager. Trying to do the club he loves a solid. It's blown up in his face. That 3-1 loss to Arsenal last week. Just a total turd. Super Frank reeling through wholesale changes. I think there were 5 ahead of this one. But it turns out poor Frank's first tactical error, nothing to do with the starting 11. Davo, pre-match singing of the English national anthem. Frank sang and cameras caught this. God save the Queen. Was that man still nostalgic for an era when the tactics were more basic? Roman Abramovich was the true king and football just felt easier for Chelsea.
He may also be a selective monarchist, Rog. We have no idea. It's tough to get out of the habit of singing God Save the Queen. But yeah, look, I mean, he's been very clear on this, that he's selecting his team. He's trying to do a favor for the next manager to try and change the culture in the locker room. He is selecting the players who are training the hardest. That is what he's trying to do on a weekly basis. And, certainly, one of the players benefiting from that is Conor Gallagher. He's one of those, Todd Boehly poster boys, Rog, long-term contract. He's on very, very low wages, right at the bottom end of the Chelsea team charts, certainly in terms of what he makes. And he's coming in and getting good minutes and actually scoring goals.
Yeah, he scored a couple in May alone. Chelsea actually have a healthier goal of the month competition already in May than they did in April, which saw just
they
the
actually
one.
have a competition.
Yes. But this one was still 1-1 until the 82nd minute. 3 late Chelsea subs. Raz, 3 names, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Moroccan Pulisic, Ziyech. No one looked more surprised than Frank Lampard when it all bore fruit. Wonderful Ziyech ball to the back post, stabbed home by Badiashile for his first goal for the club. And you could see the cherries just die on the vine or whatever the hell that fruit grows on. Just 4 minutes later, João Felix, come on, seconds before, stabbed home a ball from Raz. Chelsea up 3-1 as the Chelsea faithful belted out, "We're winning away, we're winning away. How must you be? We're winning away." And then finished the game by chanting, "We are staying up. We are staying up." But Davo, first win for your club since March 11th. And to see Frank smile again, that club legend, even in the midst of this dead rubber of a season. 3 big boy goals, as you say. Trust the process. Did you bellow that at the television, David? Did it induce any happiness at all?
No, I was singing the other song that Chelsea fans were singing on that day, which is "We scored a goal, we scored a goal." It felt good. I'll tell you, here's the glimmer of hope that I mentioned earlier in the recap. Here's what was good about it, is that the players who performed on this day were many of these younger players who are on these long-term contracts at decent wages. And for this team to go forward, for there to be these shoots of life for the next manager of this club, signings like Badiashile and Madeke and Mudryk, are going to have to pay off. Not all of them, but some of them are going to have to pay off. And today I thought, Madueke was very bright. I thought the Badiashile was excellent, continues to be excellent. Thought Enzo had a good game. And Conor Gallagher, as I mentioned, has been really decent. This is what's going to have to happen for Chelsea to succeed next season. Now, what does success look like? I'm not expecting to get back in and be a top 4 team, maybe a top half team next season, and to build that long process back to, being a decent team in the Premier League. But yeah, there were shoots of life here, Rog.
Oh, we got to talk quickly about your owner, Todd Boehly, and his, to me, slightly ill-advised appearance Thursday at the Milken Institute Global Conference, in which he muttered, "We want to win, long-term project, we'll figure it out," and pointed out about the club's strong brand position being a London club. Genuinely just sounded like a mad king who'd taken a once-feared force and buried it alive in an avalanche of money. David, on one hand, he'll look at this result and be like, well, I spoke once at the Milken Global Conference and Chelsea win. Coincidence? I think not. And so possibly more leadership conference addresses incoming. But great GFOP, Jen Sight at Jen the Wonderkind, tweeted us, hearing Todd Boehly talk about the club as a brand repeatedly, he sounds like Kendall Roy promoting Living Plus. What did you make of it all?
Well, let's remember the Milken Conference is a conference for, it's when the world of Wall Street, the world of finance comes to LA, actually comes to Beverly Hills, and they all meet and they talk about private equity and hedge funds and crypto and money and all of those kind of things that, you and I really have very little interest in. But it's to his audience, to a private equity investment audience, everything he said went down perfectly. They were all the buzzwords that they wanted to hear. To Chelsea fans globally, it is dissonant. It sounds appalling. It sounds awful. But to the audience he's speaking to, it was making a lot of sense. And people I know left that room thinking, wow, this guy Boehly seems to be really onto something with that Chelsea investment. These are not people who know anything about football, but they know about investment, and they liked what he said.
Yeah, but just talking, as you say, at a leadership conference, an elite setting, talking about the club in that bubble, as if really it's a live entertainment global platform and not an authentic football club grounded in its local reality. Like, to not have people saying, no, do the second one right now. Do a lot of the second one. Stop doing the first one. Keep those conversations private, not public. Don't do the Greg Berhalter pathway, the leadership conferences. Talk to the local fans. You need to win them over. They need to be convinced. They need to be placated. And right now, that should be what's coming first. Speaking from the lofty kind of gilded perch of Milken, can't be the way forward. It kind of shows that he does not appreciate the essence of what's been purchased. He needs people around him who can advise him. A whole new pathway. You look at what Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have done. That playbook, that should be the Clear Lake Capital playbook. Club first, town first, fan base first. It's not about you as the owner. It's not about the club as a brand. It's about bridges being built. It's partly a PR challenge, but really mostly a fundamental misunderstanding of what you purchased. And while I'm on it,
I'm not defending Todd Boehly here. Let me be very clear. But what I am saying is that the reason that Rob and Ryan bought that team, it wasn't as a private equity investment. That wasn't their reason for doing it. It was this crazy idea, and they had a passion for, and they had some kind of a vision for, and they decided to do it, and so they can connect in that way. This is a private equity piece of business for Todd Boehly. He's been very clear. That's why he bought the club, because he sees that there's value to be unlocked. That's how he got all the investors. And I agree. It's horrific for Chelsea fans. It's horrific for fans of football at large. But he is doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and he's talking in exactly the kind of way that people who own, who own clubs for those reasons are going to. He's not being performative. He's not doing the performative football passion stuff. He's just being genuine to who he is, and more for us for letting him come in and do it.
And while I'm on it, let my Pulisic go.
Actually, I think he's the one thing I think that they are doing is protecting Pulisic and helping him get a transfer without coming on and getting injured again. So I think that is going to happen.
Listen to the full version of this podcast and all our podcasts wherever you get your pods. But first, subscribe here for more Men in Blazers videos and courage.